The 2022 NBA offseason is going to be interesting because there are a couple of superstars that could be on the move. As of right now, there are many stars in the NBA that are kind of stuck. They're in a situation where we believe if they were to be traded, it would simply be better for their career and the franchise they're currently in. And for this video specifically, we're going to be highlighting that. We're going to be talking about 5 NBA superstars that are likely to be traded in this upcoming offseason, the 2022 offseason summer, and sooner or later, they're going to be wearing some new threads that of course could shake the NBA. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. If you're new, welcome. My name is Soom and I make basketball videos every single day. So of course, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. I guarantee you guys are not going to want to miss them. If you watched this trade video and you loved it, be sure to smash that thumbs up button on this channel. We don't just like the thumbs up button, we smash it. And of course, a like goes a long way. Trust me, thank you so much. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about 5 NBA superstars that could be traded in the 2022 offseason. The first player is a no-brainer, Russell Westbrook of the Los Angeles Lakers. And when talking about the 2022 season, Russell Westbrook is the most popular trade candidate. But of course, during the NBA trade deadline, Russell Westbrook did not get traded at all. Ever since being traded from the Wizards to the Lakers in the past offseason, everybody thought that the big three of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and of course Russ would simply take over the Western Conference. But as we've seen and are still seeing right now, they're not doing well and simply the fit has to change. During the 2022 NBA trade deadline, there were so many rumors that Rob Pelinka and the Lakers were trying to trade away Russell Westbrook to of course bring in assets and a better surrounding to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But of course, with Russell Westbrook's contract being very expensive and no team wanting to take on that contract, the Lakers couldn't find a deal, which kept Russell Westbrook on the roster. I'm currently making this video as the 2022 season is still going on, so of course we don't know if they're going to become champions or even contend for a true championship. But with the Lakers right now clearly struggling to make a playoff spot, I wouldn't be surprised if they go into the offseason and then of course try to work out a sign and trade for Russell Westbrook. With Russell Westbrook having a player option this offseason of a pretty expensive contract, $47 million, the best thing that could happen for the Lakers is Russell Westbrook opts out of that contract, does a multi-year sign and trade for of course a lesser price for the season, and then bring in a better caliber player to suit LeBron James and Anthony Davis's needs. I would say go for a guard that's a better floor spacer, a better shooter, and more importantly, better role player. Because we all believe that Russell Westbrook is still an all-star in the NBA, but it's just a matter of where he belongs and the fit that of course could excel his game. And I do believe wherever he can excel his game is a team where he can lead and be the #1 option. With Russell Westbrook only being 33 years old, I still believe he has a lot to offer to the NBA. So of course, he might not be as good as he used to be, but he's still good enough to still get a pretty good contract. And the Lakers are going to try to trade him in the offseason via a sign and trade to benefit him, but of course benefit the franchise. The next superstar on this list is one of my favorites, DAMIAN LILLARD of the Portland Trail Blazers. And during the 2022 season, we can clearly see the route that the Portland Trail Blazers are going towards, and from what it looks like, DAMIAN LILLARD could not be happy going forward because the Blazers have immediately clicked the panic rebuild button. During the 2022 NBA trade deadline, the Blazers were one of the most active teams, trading away CJ McCollum, Norman Powell, Robert Covington, Larry Nance Jr., 4 players that are in their starting rotation, and of course, keeping only DAMIAN LILLARD on the roster. As I'm making this video, the Portland Trail Blazers are nowhere in sight to make the NBA playoffs, and from what it looks like, with them being led by Anthony Simons and of course the younger players like CJ Ellaby, and of course Nurkic is still there as well. Let's be real, Dame, you want to win a championship and you've been super honest about that, but with this surrounding, it's not the time. We all want you to demand a trade and of course go somewhere where you could actually have a chance. Of course, with DAMIAN LILLARD's royalty, I do believe he has the perks and the ability to request a trade. And then of course, if he does, go to the team he would request. And right now there are so many rumors that he's being linked to the New York Knicks, even the Los Angeles Lakers. My point is I want DAMIAN LILLARD to still be the superstar he is while playing for a real contender, to be back in the bright lights when he went to the conference finals a few years ago. Of course, with Dame being super loyal, super honest, saying he wants to stay in Portland. Dame, I'm gonna be honest, ever since being drafted there 10 years ago, you've been loyal, you've tried your best. But as a city, no one's gonna get mad at you if you want to leave. Because at the end of the day, being in the NBA, your goal is to win. And with the Portland Trail Blazers, we can clearly see the route they're going for as a franchise to rebuild. And Dame, I don't want you to get stuck in the middle of it. I believe with a strong passion that in this upcoming offseason, Damian Lillard could request a trade. Once the season ends, he's going to see that there's no future anytime soon for him to win here, and that's why something crazy could happen. The next star on this list is talking about Jeremy Grant of the Detroit Pistons. And of course, Jeremy Grant is not a superstar, but he's in that caliber of a potential all-star, so I simply added him to this list and video. When talking about Jeremy Grant, he's under a 2-year $40 million deal. And of course, when talking about this season, there were so many rumors that Jeremy Grant was one of the more popular two-way players to enter the NBA trade market, but the Pistons ended up not trading him during the deadline because they want to save him for the upcoming offseason to simply get the best assets possible. They want to reevaluate what they've gotten in Marvin Bagley, Saddiq Bey, even Isaiah Stewart and the current roster they have, and then of course during the offseason, trade away Jeremy Grant to get the best assets to surround the players they currently have with the perfect fit. Jeremy Grant's averaging about 20 points per game and has simply evolved his game ever since joining the Pistons, and I do believe he'll be a great role player star contributor to simply help a championship squad. The Lakers were interested, even the Dallas Mavericks, even the Miami Heat, even the Chicago Bulls. So many NBA teams want Jeremy Grant, and with him being under a very affordable contract of $20 million, I do believe in the offseason, the Pistons could get draft picks plus future assets when it comes to a young player or a future star. Jeremy Grant is a very popular target. The Pistons said they're going to hold off trading him to this offseason, so of course, Detroit is going to have multiple conversations very soon. The next star on this list is talking about Julius Randle of the New York Knicks. And when talking about an all-star that has kind of taken a downshift this season, Julius Randle is in that conversation. The Knicks, ever since being a playoff team last year, is now not even competing for the playoffs. And of course, we're very surprised that Julius Randle's numbers have dropped drastically, and we're not sure why. Maybe after signing a contract extension, Julius Randle just isn't as motivated as before to, of course, try to win, put up the best numbers. But of course, in general, I still believe Julius has a lot of value in the NBA, but maybe it's not with the Knicks. I do believe with him right now being the best player on the team, he can't lead them to a championship, and that's why joining another star could simply be beneficial to, of course, his future to actually compete. And that's why right now I'm putting him as a very popular power forward center that has so much versatility as an offensive big to, of course, help a front court team that needs it. During the 2022 NBA trade deadline, the Knicks have been very vocal, putting everybody on the roster available for trade, even Julius Randle. And if the Knicks miss the playoffs this year after a very good season last year, I do believe a blow-up could happen, where Kemba Walker could be traded, Evan Fournier, Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, and even Julius Randle. And the last superstar on this list is Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards. Bradley Beal, in my opinion, is in the exact same situation as Damian Lillard. He's a superstar, a part of a team that he's loyal to, but of course, we all know he's going nowhere. And especially during this year's NBA trade deadline, the Wizards made moves to, of course, show that they're entering a rebuild mode. They traded away Montrezl Harrell, traded away Spencer Dinwiddie. They're clearly saying they're entering a rebuild, and of course, even though they got Kristaps Porzingis in return, I don't believe Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis can win an NBA championship. And of course, with Beal entering this summer on a potential new contract extension, I wouldn't be surprised if he demands a trade and then the Wizards work out a sign and trade. As of right now, Bradley Beal is being linked to so much teams because every team out there will love the addition of Bradley Beal. He's a shooting guard player that can score 30 points per game and be a good leader. And with so much NBA teams needing a secondary or even a first option at the scoring column, Bradley Beal could come in, focus on scoring, but still be beneficial on the all-around factors of the team. Bradley Beal has expressed himself multiple times after losing that he wants to win, same like Damian Lillard. And that's why right now I just want to empower Bradley Beal fans to encourage Beal to request a trade, because even though we respect him as being loyal, we would love to see him in a real championship situation. So Beal, that's your first move. The Wizards right now are nowhere in playoff contention and seem like they're building the future around Kyle Kuzma and Beal. I do believe it's time for you to move on, request a trade, and then of course the Wizards get the best assets possible and send Beal to a team he requests to get traded to of course help him actually do win a championship. So yes guys, this wraps up my video for today, talking about 5 NBA stars that could be traded in the 2022 offseason. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Which of these players do you believe will most likely be traded, and are there any other stars out there that you feel will be traded this summer? Put your thoughts down in the comments below, but other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!